Believe it or not, God doesn't like everybody. Of course, He loves everyone. But some people make Him gag. And it's not because of the people in and of themselves, but because of their character, their actions, their attitudes, or their words. Like pride. In this video, I want to look at the Bible's key to beating pride. But first, though, I want to look at pride's worst danger, which is that it makes God your enemy. James 4:6 says, God opposes the proud. Yes, you heard me right. It's not popular to say this, but it's possible to make God your enemy. God opposes people. In our culture, people think of God as nothing but a fluffy, soft little piece of love, like a pillow on a couch I can use to make myself comfortable however I'd like. No, God is love, that's right. He loves everyone in themselves, but not everyone as themselves. He loves who we are, but not how we are, because we're flawed. Pride is one of the foundational flaws most of us struggle with. And if you feed your pride, then you'll make God your opponent. So the first question, naturally, is what is pride? Well, in a positive sense, it is having the appropriate amount of self-esteem, self-worth, self-dignity, and self-respect. We are made in the image of God. To see ourselves as less than that is wrong. We aren't dogs. We are made of dust, but we aren't dust. We are persons. If you're Tom Brady and you're competing at a football game, it would be really commendable of you to pick up trash here and there on the sideline when you see it. Yet, if all you did was pick up trash during the game, you wouldn't be doing your job. He would be acting other than the team's quarterback. But if you're the quarterback, you've got to see yourself as the quarterback and act as the quarterback. So that's pride in a positive sense. But pride very easily creeps into the danger zone. Dangerous pride does this. It looks too long, it stands too tall, and it ignores too much. Here's what I mean. Pride looks in the mirror and admires itself for way too long. Pride sees itself and likes itself in an obsessive way. It also stands too tall. Pride sees itself as more than what it is and disdains others as less than who they are. Lastly, it ignores too much. Pride looks around and looks back and sees only its own efforts and accomplishments while neglecting the circumstances and how others contributed to help them get where they are. So, if this kind of pride came out in Tom Brady, he would obsess over the fact that he's the team quarterback and hold it against other staff and team members. He would act as though he's the most important person on the franchise and require special treatment from everyone. He would neglect how others in his past and the staff and the other members on the team have helped him achieve his goals. Now, I don't know whether Tom Brady struggled with this kind of pride or not. It's just easy to see how dangerous pride works in a situation like his. So that's what pride is. But here's the tricky part about pride. It's stealthy. Pride in ourselves flies under the radar. We're so quick to sniff it out in others, and it smells awful. We're repulsed by it. It's distasteful. Pride in others makes us gag. Yet, we're blind to our own pride. That's what makes it so dangerous. For example, when I was writing this script on pride, I occasionally sensed unhealthy pride trying to puff itself up within me for writing something I thought showed some eloquence. Pride is always ready to take you down. Someone said, pride is the chain that keeps us locked in the prison of self. Not only do we see it in ourselves, but we don't realize we're making God our enemy when we operate by it. James 4:6 and 1 Peter 5:5 both say, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Romans 12:3, though, has the key to beat pride. It says, "For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you." So let's take the three elements of dangerous pride and flip them on their heads. Guard against pride by not looking too long in the mirror, by not trying to stand too tall above others, and by not ignoring how much we have received that helped us get to where we are. It was Ben Franklin who said, "A man wrapped up in himself makes a very small bundle." So let's end with the words of C.S. Lewis on pride, which is pretty good. He said, "This perversion arises when a conscious creature becomes more interested in itself than in God, and wishes to exist on its own. This is the sin of pride." So therefore, we need to beat pride by thinking of yourself with sober judgment. Look to Christ, not to yourself. Jesus said, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." And that statement is total, complete, exhaustive, absolute. What do we have that we have not received? Making God my enemy is a startling thought. For me, I have found I constantly have to sober up my own judgment, correct it, I have to focus on Christ, and then preach the pride right out of me. And then, when it resurfaces, I just have to do it all over again. Anyways, I hope this is helpful. I'm Aaron Massey. You can find more videos like this on my channel where I help others understand God's Word and walk with Christ. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.